Hi, this is Dave Copeland from Opower, and I'm going to tell you about how one line of code can change the world. A little bit about me first, though. I'm an engineering lead at Opower, and I've got about 15 or so years of experience as a developer. I've worked at both really hip San Francisco startups and really boring 8 and skate kind of consultancies. So I've built a lot of things and worked at a lot of different places. And mostly in my career, I've kind of felt that work was its own reward. I really like programming. I like making stuff work and running my tests and typing my semicolons and everything, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. And that was kind of how I viewed my career for a long time. Work is fun, and I go in and do it, and it's just great. But I always wondered, like, could it be more than that? Could there be more of a reward than just enjoying my work and getting paid for it? So, in my not too distant past, little story to build this up, I worked at the United States Marshal Service as a government contractor. It was fun. I was really excited to work there. And my very first assignment that I got was to implement this feature to track criminal organizations. So, the Marshals, they track bad guys and they keep track of people that they're wanted or who are looking for or out of jail or something like that. And so they want to keep track of criminal organizations and be able to associate them with bad guys, and they want to share all this investigative data with people all throughout the country, and all the different marshal districts throughout the United States. So this is what I had to build, and here's kind of what it looks like. Well, to be honest, it didn't look this good. It was written in Java Swing, so it wasn't quite this nice. And I worked really hard, and I busted it out, and I got it totally done. Customer looked at it. It was great. Went to production with it, no problem. So a year later, still there, been working on many other things, still excited about it, and I get this bug report that the save feature of the criminal organizations doesn't work. When you click save, the entire application blows up. And my first thought was, save doesn't work. That's the whole feature. It doesn't do anything without save, and if save doesn't work, then it doesn't do anything. And it turns out that for a year, absolutely no one used this feature at all. Of course, work is its own reward, right? Well, maybe not. So let's fast forward even more to January 2009. I have been at Opower for about a month or so, and I wrote a line of code. And when it went into production, it changed the world. And it's still changing the world right now as we speak. It's still running, still changing the world. Now I'm going to show it to you. But I have to tell you, it's for demonstration purposes only. This is Opower proprietary code. Please don't steal it and put us out of business. Just look at it briefly. Here it is. It's pretty amazing, huh? I'm doing a binary search using the Java collections library. Yeah, pretty crazy. And I'm getting a rank of something. Who knows what? Well, what is what we call a neighbor rank. So it ranks you amongst your neighbors as to how energy efficient you are. So if you're rank 56, then that means 56 neighbors are better than you at energy efficiency. And of course, now we can't really calculate this without having everybody's ranks and everything and everyone's energy efficiency all ordered. And so here's another amazing line of code written by Ali, one of our developers, where we're putting a number into an array. I know it's riveting stuff. And now, of course, showing you just one rank is not exactly that useful, right? We want to show a trend over time. And so another one of our developers, Tom, he created this amazing map that maps the date range of your rank to your actual rank so we can keep track of that trend. Again, this is Opower proprietary code. Do not steal it. Now, of course, we can calculate all this stuff. We have to actually show it to the user so that they can see it. And Jeff, another one of our developers, wrote this line of code that reverses the list of ranks because it turns out that the way we calculate it is not the order in which we need to show it to the customer. So he reversed that list in this one line of code. Now, this is what the report looks like. When you get it, you see this stuff on the front, and then you will flip it over, hopefully, and then you'll see the neighbor rank graph. And you can see here that we've got a neighbor rank graph, so that's pretty cool. Those little lines of code added up. But what's amazing is when people see this, they then reduce their energy consumption by 2 to 3%. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but that's like turning off 500,000 laptops for an entire year. That's actually quite a lot. It's pretty cool. Now, can we do more with this? Well, what if we decided we didn't want them to flip the report over? Would that affect anything? Well, it turns out that we have to create a whole new way of organizing our report so that we can send half of our customers the report with the neighbor rank on the back and the other half with the neighbor rank on the front. Do a little test. So to do that, we had to rejigger how our reports work. And here's another Opower secret. Everything is written in HTML and CSS, and then it gets turned into a PDF. So another bit of code here written by Garrett, one of our developers, some CSS that helps format this stuff. Now, it's 4 lines. You know, CSS is kind of 1-to-4 ratio, so this is really kind of 1 line of real code, but you get the point. And so what happens is the people that see it on the front, they reduce their energy consumption by an additional 1%. So that's another 250,000 laptops completely turned off for a whole year just because this is on the front of the report and they didn't have to flip it over. So basically, there's all this mundane code, right? There's my really boring looking binary search and Ollie putting stuff into a collection, and Tom making a hash map, and Jeff reversing some list, and Garrett with some CSS, and it all leads to this massive reduction in energy consumption. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg. This is one small feature of a very complex product of many different products that we have. Here's a big list of equally mundane lines of code written by every single one of our developers that all contributed to the energy savings that our product creates. So, like a simple, boring if statement might seem tedious to write, but in fact, it can have a huge impact on the world. And that's how one line of code can change the world.